So the African Americans, that is how slavery began. And that you want independence. The Western people gave you freedom. But it came to a time some of the slave masters told the Africans, the gold that you give to us for free is not just a stone. It can be used for this. It can be used. It have the future of even going to space. So they too became jealous. They insulted one leader and one of the white people. There was a chief in Africa who were fucking some of the slave masters' wives. He was having a lot of gold. And that woman was greedy. In Africa, if someone share food with you, that man, his wife, that slave master, that too happened in Achim and even the Ashantis. That slave master, his wife, he was desperate for more gold. So he was giving himself to this. She even got pregnant and gave birth to a black child. This story brought the war between the whites. That brought the torture. It is that man who started torturing slaves. Find out the chief have impregnated his wife. And the time the wife gave birth, the child was a black boy. Then that man got angry and brought soldiers. That time he was rich. So if you are a woman and you are pregnant, you cut your belly and see the child you are carrying. And the mistake he made is when he cut the child, the kids were also looking like a white people. You know, black children, if they are born, when they are growing, they turn black. So he too was saying then they are taking their race from them and it turned to a fight. So that is when they started placing shackles on their neck. But even the time they were having shackles on the necks of the slaves, during that time, it is still the chiefs who are selling the white people. So they later made obligation with the white people that they will sell the slaves for 100 years. So after 100 years, they will stop. Because that time they got cars and many more. So the time white 100 years agreement with the whites, their accounts, they don't keep dates and records. But that time they can live for long. So the slavery continued for long. One of them, he grew up to become a king. He was 100. And he told those who came to buy slaves that when I was young, we made a law with your people for 100 years. You can't buy slaves again. You think we have forgotten. I was there that time. So abolish slavery. And the Western people told them there is no documentation to prove, so they can't abolish. Because the person you are negotiating with, one was immortal, but the main leader of the slave yard was not immortal. So he said, me, I'm not there, so I don't care. So the Ashantis designed a conspiracy to fight them. That king designed that conspiracy. And it became a war between the whites and the blacks. The same thing happened in South Africa. So during the time they were fighting for freedom, they asked for independence. Currently, that is about 60 to 70 years ago. And China and Ghana got independent in the similar time. So during that time, Haile Selassie got a news that there is a book that made Hannibal Barca fought the war of Carthage against the Roman. That foretold a black man will be born. And that black man that will be born, he will be superior. He will have power over the gods and the heavens and the kingdom from heaven. That is the Hindu gods with 4 hands, 6 hands. That black man will be their king. It is the reason why Hannibal Barca fought the war of Carthage. You know the African witches, they say they will damage my eye because somebody bought my red cake, he didn't pay. They copied that, the Bible translation copied that because Hannibal Barca was the first to do that. And on his time going to fight Rome, he was in the back of an elephant. And a honeybee from the Majish Majdi clan, you know some of the Indians too are in, the same people, some are immortals, they were there. A honeybee stayed Hannibal Barca's eye. So they did typology of synchronizing Hannibal Barca to the Bible, the War of Carthage story. That is the war Hannibal Barca made a shape of a triangle, and the second infantry came from the back. They form a triangle and they parasite the temple of Set, and they kill all the Romans. It was called War of Carthage. So after that war, Martin Luther King to many black people try, including Scipio Africanus, during the reign of Caesar. I don't want to talk much. And what happened most was um, the time it happened like that, Martin Luther King and the rest said black people will be powerful. Before Martin Luther King, Haile Selassie from the royal dynasty in Ethiopia, Queen of Sheba's legacy, he gave a land to the black people that when that king become powerful, the slaves there will come home because they will know a king have come. So he gave a land to the African Americans in Ethiopia. It's a secret. So it's Haile Selassie who helped Dr. Kwame Nkrumah for Ghana to gain independence. Kwame Nkrumah, he didn't know anything. It is Haile Selassie who was a royal member who knew the Soviet. So Ghana independence was not given to them by the British. It was given to them by Russia. That is why I named Putin Lord of the Earth. Because it's the actions that lead that during that period, General Liu conquered the emperor in China. China. The Africans are saying they will turn one of my eye to a wizard eye and one to a monk eye. He stole my wife, that monk called Queen Corona. She was a monk, she was a woman. She was my wife. She's alive. So the monk, the high priest in China stole that woman because of her beauty. And I warned her one day his emperor will fall. So General Liu was trained by the Soviet, and they overthrown the emperor, the Chinese empire from power. And General Liu became the first president of China. So if anyone tried, General Liu was killing them. So during that same period, Haile Selassie helped Kwame Nkrumah to go to the Soviet, and Ghana got independent. So Ghana was the first sub-Saharan country in Africa to get independent. After Ghana got independent, Kwame Nkrumah said that then, if my country have got independent and the person will be born in Tema, in Isaiah 21, it foretold the prophecy against Arabia. You have written Ghana Tema. They said Tema will be the hotspot of the area. So what happened next was Kwame Nkrumah perform a rituals that he want to be that person. So he started telling the Western people, I'm destined to be bigger than you. I'll have aliens. Just like the way Jesus Christ threatened Rome, he will do. So I will not use your pound again. I will use CD. I will use this. And Haile Selassie gave him a land in Ethiopia that the African Americans will come and they will turn Africa to industrial revolution for the unicorn age to be born. Unicorn is my son. He invented machines. The Anunnakis, they have divine power to turn air into rock. That is how your planet was made. Some of you can turn air into snow. So this world was made by turning air, what is air, into rock. The witches are witnesses, I can do all those things. So what happened next was Nkrumah then married in Egypt and said he would link to the god of Egypt and connect to the all-seeing eye. Not knowing the white person he married was a descendant of Prince Black, the Dracula. Because Egypt, all the white people there, they are foreigners. Some fled there during the time of Spartacus, and some came from Middle East. Some are Dracula's